Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Guys, out in the desert with fellow influencer of tennis, my buddy Beckett.
Yo, what's up? This is Red Food. Check out Tennis Spin, where you get all your tennis goodness. Yeah, baby, Red Food.
All right, so my buddy Beckett's here from Tenncom, and we're going to be talking about what is it like to be a tennis influencer. The goods, the bads, and the uglies. So, welcome, Beckett.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, yeah, no problem, no problem.
Pleasure and an honor.
Oh, thank you.
The first one of your videos that I ever watched was when you posted too early about the Arrow, the Arrow VS.
The Arrow
way
VS.
Back in the day, yeah. I think it was like one of your first 10 videos or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then it was slightly more like the wild, wild west of just posting, whoever can get it out first. Obviously, you know, as an influencer, that when we do that, you ain't getting that early next time. That's why now it's 10 days or 20 days later when Beckett posts and then I post. Because what happens? We get punished. Okay? So that's kind of what happens. Now, why did you want to become a tennis influencer?
I wouldn't say I wanted to become a tennis influencer. It accidentally happened. So, I was working at a pro shop when I was a student in university, and then a good friend of mine now started also working at the store. His name is Stephen Boughton. He runs a YouTube channel called The Slice. At the time, I was running the Instagram for the pro shop I worked at, but my face wasn't on it. It was just about whatever racket was new in stock, blah, blah, blah. Not super exciting. Then he asked me if I could do a little bit of work for him on his Instagram, so I did. About a year later, he got his first press pass to Delray Beach, 2020, right before COVID shut down. Like, I remember walking down Delray Beach main drag, people joking about COVID coming over. 2 weeks later, everything shuts down. But I had so much fun with the press pass at Delray Beach, filming my friend all day, and I was like, I love making videos. That was like one of the best weeks of my life. And then I was figuring out, how am I going to continue making these videos? I don't necessarily want to do it about tennis news and pro news, and I love tennis rackets and screens. So COVID had shut down the shop that I was working at, Courtside Sports, and I asked them, because I couldn't work at the store anymore. Everything was closed. I said, can I make a couple videos, like just tennis racket reviews for you guys for free? So I did that for about a year and a half. Moved cities. That was in Victoria, BC on Vancouver Island. So I moved to the mainland in Vancouver, where we are now. And because I was away from the store, I thought, I'll just do my own thing. And so we started Tenncom in 2022. And it's just because I really love the creative process of making videos, and I feel like I know more about rackets and strings compared to most other subjects. So that's where I have the competitive advantage to share.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You and I have similar stories then, because during COVID, like, everything was shut down. I literally had all this time in my hand, so I went to the shop and just shot videos all day long. And nobody disturbed me. All I did was just content, day after day after day until we, ramp back up again. So, yeah, that's like my story, essentially.
Do you have like a specific piece of content that you feel like was a big turning point for your career on YouTube?
I mean, the first video that I got the most watches on, which is 1,700, was the Yonex E-Zone.
Yeah.
That came out, at that time period, about the 2020 range, 2019 range. And I was like, hey, people are watching me? What's going on here?
Yeah.
So, like, one of our employees pretty much said, why don't you just do this once a week and post something and just see what happens? You know, and then that once a week during COVID became once a day.
Yeah.
So
you've kept that cadence up, right?
I've tried to. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, I feel like on my best years, I probably missed like 10 to 12 in the whole year.
Yeah.
So, but that's tough on the editor, man. It's like I kind of have to sacrifice quantity for quality because it's a lot of raw stuff that, you know, literally the pressure's on me not to screw up, because then if I screw up, then somebody else has to take an hour or so to just make me look good.
Right. Do you review, I would say, maybe the widest breadth of products of any of the regular tennis reviewers? How do you choose what you feel is worth reviewing in a video versus what's not?
I give everybody a pretty good chance. I mean, I'll literally do massage guns to like red light therapy stuff, because I feel like the tennis community needs it, you know, because I'm standing up 8 hours a day. I'm sure coaches are doing that, stringers are doing that. People are playing, you know, every day. I mean, they need relief. And I feel like if it can help somebody, then I will, you know, obviously weigh it out a little bit, and I'll test it out first. And if I deem that it's, you know, it's worth a video, then I'll do it. I mean, tennis rackets, no brainer. I mean, there aren't that many out there, so I'll do pretty much every racket that comes my way. Strings is there's so many strings that I kind of have to pick and choose what's worthy of a video. And then, you know, grips are kind of the same way. You know, do I have time for it, and is it compelling? You know? How about yourself?
We're pretty tight on the stuff we review because, like, I could not in a million years keep up with your level of cadence, so I have to be quite a bit more selective. For a while, I was doing 2 videos a week, but for the way that I like to produce, because I like being behind the camera a lot, so I like trying to be a little bit creative with the shot making that I do. The 2 videos a week was just like a massive amount, and so we've gone to 1 video a week, but it just depends on my personal schedule, right, too. So sometimes it'll be like, we're traveling this week, so I don't think there's going to be a video.
Right,
exactly. Week. So I don't force myself to post if I'm not ready. I would much rather take my time with a piece of content, because I think that will make the content better in itself, but also helps kind of take care of me. I have a really hard time recovering once I get pretty tired. So my baldness is because I have alopecia, which is an autoimmune disorder. So I'm a little bit more vulnerable to struggling with getting sick. So I'm not like pushing myself to, you know, be a tough guy and get through it. I'll just take my time. And that kind of leads us to mainly just covering key 98s, key 100s, key affiliate strings, or if there's a string that's particularly interesting to me, like I think Yonex is very intentional with their string production, so when College or Force, whenever I can get my hands on it, that's something that I want to review, because like it did not take long for that string to get used on tour. Right. It's basically right away. So stuff that pros are using, I think is very valuable to the audience. Entertainment, at least, whether it or not it's actually practically valuable, doesn't matter as much. But like, I'm a lot more I'm not trying to get like maximum views, but I want to have like a generally attractive response to whatever video I'm reviewing. So that's another reason I'm like not really touching.
Got it. Now, who does your editing?
I do
what?
Basically everything.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
one man show.
Simon will help me with a few things here or there, mainly like assisting me with ideas and writing, or double checking Things if I want to take a risk, like a video idea risk. Simon's greatest strength.
Tag partner! Oh gosh! Oh, Coach Goo just did a tweener on the Fast Track Tennis. You can get your tweener on the Fast Track Tennis too. 365 days a year. Discount code is below. Get your Fast Track on today.
Specifically for Tenncom, but I think it's a great strength generally, is that he's a very good writer and very thoughtful.
So you have a script?
So I'll write a script. He doesn't usually review my scripts, but we'll like talk about, so I'm thinking of doing this idea this way, and then I'll actually hammer out the script, because he still has a full-time job. So I found that writing a script was advantageous for two reasons. One, it saves me time in editing, because I've gotten better at talking, but especially in the earlier days, I would really trip myself up a lot. And so there's so much cutting of dead time, which is bad for memory space on your computer, but also takes a lot of time to get through. And then the second bonus of scripts is I have a website that is now being used a lot for string sales. So I set up a little street sale operation on my apartment for Canadian customers. But also, I can post the article on my website. It's much easier to adapt an existing script to an article.
Right.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to get a little bit more traffic on that website. I don't maintain it as much as I should.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
So from idea process to preparing for the shoot to shooting to editing, how many hours does it take to get one on YouTube?
The biggest variable for time to completion is how long it takes me to get a thorough test of a product. So something like the new arrows, I struggled with a lot because I want to test a racket until I start to like it.
Interesting.
So I'll test, 4 or 5 string setups. I'll test a ton of different weight configurations with customization, and it's not always adding weight. It's figuring out how can I remove weight from the handle of certain rackets, maybe to get something more in my spec range these days. Because I'm not looking to say this is a good racket or a bad racket. I'm looking to say, who is this racket for? How could you maybe get the most out of it?
Right.
And how did I get the most out of it? Because I don't believe in the concept of making an objective view. Like, I cannot put myself in the shoes of everybody. I don't have this godlike power. The best I can do is give you my perspective, which is going to be full of my own biases. Like, I could maybe imitate somebody's swing a little bit on the court, but I'm never going to get close to understanding exactly how you feel when you're using a certain racket.
Right.
I can only understand how I feel and do my best to describe that in a way that you might be able to understand.
Got it. No, I totally understand it. I mean, I do the opposite of you. Because growing up as a racket junkie, like, I wanted to try everything out. And now that I can, same string, same tension on every brand new racket out. 52 Confidential 16L. I know within 10 minutes if it's the right racket for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
So, and I can describe like why I like it and why I don't within that 10 or 15 minutes. So I like to take it from that perspective, because most people that are consumers demoing rackets, they're going to decide within the first hour whether it's acceptable or not.
Or less.
Yes.
Yes. Or, yeah, 100, totally. Not only is that because not everyone's hitting all the time, but like, you might not have a racket for a period of time.
Exactly.
You might not be able to string it yourself. You might not be able to customize it yourself. But I like that experimentation phase with different setups. like that part gives me a lot of joy as well. So I am also doing it quite selfishly because I find the tinkering to be just as fun as trying something new. And especially when the tinkering is nice to see. So the new Pure Aero 100, if I had only tried it in my first configuration, I would not like it.
Really?
But it is, like I'm on the fence. I still need to spend a little bit more time trying some other new stuff. But it's my number one racket right now. If
Whoa.
you're asking me to play a match, that's probably what
Aero 100. You heard it here.
Yeah. You heard it here first. I've only told my members.
So you basically, your process can take weeks to get a video out then because of all this.
Like the arrows, I got them just before the embargo on January 17th.
Mm-hmm.
I got them on Saturday, and I didn't get the video up for like a month.
Wow.
And so it's not because I'm spending the whole time in that month testing the arrow. It's because I traveled quite a bit in that time, so I wasn't around as much as I would have liked it. But every racket, it's like minimum 5 hours support time, probably 2 hours stringing and customization through several different setups. It takes me about an hour to 2 hours to write a script, 30 minutes to film it, and I've been getting way faster at editing. It used to take me many hours, now I'm getting it out in about 2 or 3, depending on how much.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Now, what is your favorite part of being a tennis YouTuber?
My favorite part is that it gives me the freedom to live a very flexible life. So I've worked a 9-to-5 job before, and I really struggled to keep my own creative inspiration in that. And so for me, the fact that I get to have control over decisions, the decision-making process, the fact that I have control over my creative outlet, like we're not doing it as much as we have in the past, but a lot of the time, if Simon is more free, we try to have fun with skits and be more creative with storytelling. The audience doesn't love it, but I have the freedom to do it if I want.
It brings out your personality. It brings out who you are. It's your expression. I get it.
Yeah, and I think while the larger audience may not appreciate it because people are living a busy lifestyle, they want to get right to the point. There is also a core part of our audience who really does appreciate it, and that helps with the personal connection, which is another great thing. And it's also, this is something that I've had the luxury of having more recently, is getting to do these kinds of events and meeting people who are on the same field as me. I did this for a couple of years all by myself where I did not have relationships with other creators. And then you get a little bit of a lonely sense. If you're just working from home, you're posting videos, and all the feedback you're getting is just from the comment section. It's tough, as opposed to having the opportunity to talk to someone like you, who is more of a peer, who's gone through the same highs and the same lows, is so, it's such a luxury that I would never take for granted. And it's a huge thing that helps me also stay inspired and motivated to improve my craft.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel like the comments motivate me. I mean, obviously the haters are just going to hate, but it's, I've met so many people just through the channel that are, fans that are now really good friends of mine. I mean, there's people in the Bay Area that I would have never met if I didn't have the channel. And we now play tennis, we hang out, we eat, and it's all because of the channel.
Yeah.
And of course, all the free stuff we get is always great. As an equipment junkie, I want stuff, and I want people to give me stuff. So that's the number one bonus of being a content creator in tennis, because there's always going to be stuff.
And yeah, there's something about being first, and there's a lot of experiences that I've had the luxury of having because of the channel. Like, I would have never probably been able to try a pro stock racket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
so now I'm trying. I would have never been able to, be one of the first people to experience with any racket, which is like, it's in a lot of ways just a little bit of over consumerism.
Right.
but it's still like, it's still fun to go. I'm in the first 1% of people who've tried this.
Yep. Exactly.
And, yeah, you feel
special.
Yeah. You feel special.
Now, what would you say are the bad points of being a tennis content creator?
I don't know that I've been happier ever being a content creator. I have maybe more luxury than you because I don't have a job, and so like I'm just doing one job. And I wear a lot of hats with Tenncom as a business, with the screen sales consultations that we do, managing partnerships and all that stuff. But there have been some cases where I have had less than desirable experiences in the past working with certain companies.
Right.
And so that can be really stressful when you're not quite getting on the same page as somebody who at your first thought you would think would be a very natural fit. You're doing kind of sours. That can be frustrating, but as I've dealt with that in the past, I've gotten a lot better about learning from those experiences and figuring out ways for me to set boundaries ahead of time so that I don't end up in situations where I'm a bit unsavory.
Right.
So, the worst experience I've had the last year with the YouTube channel was Air Canada. I lost my bag on the Beckett fiber. I'm really happy.
Where's my filming equipment? Damn it, Air Canada! All right, now, for those people who want to be like you, what advice would you give them?
I think it's really important to go after what's easy for you in the way that it doesn't feel like work to you. And so following the things that you love and are personally most excited about, for me, is the way to create the best and most authentic content.
Right.
It's a cliche to say, just be yourself, but that's all about being authentic. And I think you're a very authentic presenter, and that's one of the reasons that people can create a relationship with you. Whereas if you're trying to be somebody you're not going to be able to present yourself as authentically as the audience craves.
Right. Yeah, no, everybody tells me, like, I feel like you're my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
I feel like I know you.
Yeah, my friend listens to Before Bed every day.
Oh, no way. I'm a bedtime story now.
Yeah. I assume he dreams of you all night, too.
Probably hears me if it's on playing all day. Any other advice?
No, my main advice is do whatever helps keep you motivated. That's been the best thing for me personally. And, I went to school for being an engineer and I failed immediately. And I thought that's what I wanted, but I just realized that it seemed like a good idea, but the actual practice wasn't good. Yeah. So figuring out a way to enjoy whatever the grind is has made my life a lot better.
Well, you are an engineer. You're a racket engineer.
Hey, you could say that for sure.
All right, where can they find you?
We're Tenncom, Tenncom, on YouTube, tenncom.media on Instagram. My website is just tenncom.media if you don't want to listen to my stupid voice, you just want to read my thoughts. Those are the main three places that we are in.
Perfect. Thank you for joining me today. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. It was great to meet you finally today as well.
Thank you. Yeah. That is Beckett, guys. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your
tennis.